Hello folks and welcome back to the 7th Fleet Building Tournament set up by the Starsector community. The unofficial Starsector Discord mainly, but in general the Starsector community, where players make fleets and the AI pits them against each other in almost calamitous fashions. This is the current next round of the losers bracket, which will be 2 matches today, each of them being a best of 3, so a potential of 6 fights. Yeah. Last time was on Thargo's channel last Thursday, in which Vira's Falcon Ps were successful. And there was also Kissimmee also, I believe, won their match. There was no announcement in the SS Discord after the one made 30 minutes ago. I made one just now in the stream bulletin. If you mute the stream bulletin, that's on you. I put one in the stream bulletin because I don't have priority to put in a lot of places. But yeah. And we move on, I think. I think we go straight into it. And like I said, these are 2 best of 3 matches. Between Soup and Johan. And also Surge versus Safari John are the 2 matches on this evening. Also the overlay. Yes, I know, we're not in the fight yet. Hang on. I am aware. I know, I can make it disappear with the press of a button. It's magical. Actually, it's magical. I was actually going to be very thankful to all my subscribers and stuff because I bought a stream deck with the proceeds of my Patreon and my subscribers, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you all. Because that was directly from the money I got from you people. I bought myself a stream deck. I'm still playing around with it, but it's fun. Anyway. Yes, the first match tonight is Soup's Kierkegaard's Robust Clowns versus Johann's Easy on the SO boys. I believe Johann's fleet hasn't changed. Because that is still a ton of the Falcon Ps, of the deadly Falcon Ps, which have so far ruled this tournament. Versus what looks to be that's a good 12 enforcers on Soup's side with an Atlas Mark II and some Tempests. Right, let's go in and see what Soup has for us. It is the Dr. Roxo I took cocaine modified super freighter. I'm the rock and roll clown. With, I think the change here has been, these used to be Gauss cannons, now they're Hellbore cannons. Hellbore cannons and Hurricane Mervs. A little bit of extra maneuverability, some venting, more than enough venting to basically fire infinitely, of course, but there are only basically big weapons. There's no point defense on this thing whatsoever, so those Falcons are extremely missile heavy, that's all they do, so it's definitely going to be requiring something else to take care of the missiles for it. Rubber mounts, auxiliary thrusters, expanded missile racks, so it has 20 Hurricanes per launcher, and advanced turret gyros to make sure that these Hellbores can turn pretty quickly. Also to counteract, I think, the armored weapon mounts. That decreases by 25, that increases by 75. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ludic Path Enforcers, Kefka design, with safety overrides built in and ill-advised modifications built in, of course, because they are Pather Enforcers. Also, unstable injectors, expanded magazines, expanded missile racks, and ECCM packages. They have Swarmer SRM launchers, Sabos, and triple flamers, triple plasma flamers, which is where the expanded magazines come in. They're firing at they're firing 20 rounds a second, so that's 5 seconds worth. It takes 5 seconds to reload. Yeah, so it gives you 4 seconds of uninterrupted fire. No, I tell a lie. It'll give you 20 seconds of uninterrupted fire before the reloads have to start coming in. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ronald class regular enforcers. Simple SOs with assault chain guns, double heavy machine guns, a single flak cannon. So, hang on. Yeah, enforcers have, okay, they've got dual machine guns. Okay, they have some light dual machine guns as well. So they've got some point defense, and this one has heavy machine guns and flak cannons for point defense, also for kinetic damage on the heavy machine guns. One of the fleets, as far as I'm aware, 2 fleets were changed. One fleet was purposefully not changed, and one fleet was not updated, had no information in at all. I've got messages on the Discord. Okay, hang on. Right, okay. Let's see if this is correct this time. Is that it, Johan? Is that your corrected fleet? Okay, good. Where was I? We did this one, we did this one, we did all of these. Yep, safety overrides, heavy machine guns, sabos, and harpoons. This is the point defense here, assault chain guns, and now we have the Tempests. Auxiliary thrusters, safety overrides, pulse lasers, and some swarmers, as well as their built-in Terminator drone wings. Oof. And then we go to... I saw the Excelsior there, I got really confused. Then we have here, we go into Don't Run Into the Mines, boys. We have, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the light missile, Falcon missile onlys. The design that has basically run over this entire tournament. They have been stupendous in pretty much every match they've come in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Omen ion pulses with ion torpedo racks, with ion cannons, with IR pulse lasers, with stabilized shields and hardened shields. Again, Omens have been, if Falcon Peace have been the standout cruiser of the tournament, then the Omens have been the standout frigate for the tournament as well. Also, we have a new ship, this time a Apogee class Apogee plasma cruiser with plasma cannon, a couple of tack lances up front, some point defense, burst PDs and heavy burst PDs, a Sabo, and a Locust SRM with ITUs and stabilized shields, as well with plenty of flux. It's not enough to fire forever, but it's pretty good. On Johann's side, and this is the best of 3 matches, so we'll do 1 match from this perspective. We'll do 1 match from Johann's perspective, and then if we get to the 3rd match, I'll flip a coin. The famous coin that I usually have. Tempest lasts 59 seconds. 59 seconds. Yes, basically there's a lot of SO everywhere. There's a lot of SO absolutely everywhere in the frigates. No, not so much anymore. Not so much anymore. There's no SO anymore here, although there is SO on this side, of course. There's 59 seconds on those Tempests. 139 seconds on the Enforcers, I believe. Yes. Anyway, match 1, round 1 of Super versus Johann. Boop, 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 and zoom out. Enforcers. Did they actually manage to spread them out? Yep, 3 either side. I wasn't sure if they were going to put all 6 Pathers on one side and 6 Regulars on the other, but no, it's 3 Pathers and 3 Regulars either side, as well as 1 Tempest either side, 1 going aggressive to pick up this current. What do we have here? It's a nav boy on the left, nav boy on the right, sensor jammer on the left. They all turn around. The AI can't exactly cope with the fact, and we have the frontmost Enforcers not showing their due respect and turning to face the rear towards the enemy, but here we go. Here come the Falcons. And now 1 has overloaded. That is, look at all those, look at that, count them. I've lost count. That is at least 20 harpoons, if not more, and that's just going to go right down. 1 down. They're re-engaging. All the harpoons re-engage. They pick new targets. That's going to be a 2nd one down. Oh, survives just barely, as most of those harpoons can't manage, but never mind. Here comes another 20 harpoons. Manages to get it on the shield. Will just die to those last harpoons over there. Harpoons over there, that's at least 3 Enforcers down already. Oh my god, I got hit by a Reaper. Oh, Reaper bounces off the hull just then. They have fallen back and out. Oh, never mind, another one's going to go. The amount of harpoons here is exceedingly punishing. Another Enforcer goes down. This Enforcer will probably go down as well. Elliot subs to me, thank you very much. There you go, the Tempests are starting to run out of CR now. And they can't even get through. I don't think a single Falcon has been scratched so far. Oh, maybe a little bit of armor damage there, but still not enough to get through the hull. Oh, that's another dead Enforcer, maybe? Oh, no, dead over there. Down. Uh-oh. That Atlas has no protection. Has no protection whatsoever. Tempest goes down, Enforcers go down. The Atlas is taking harpoons left, right, and center. It goes down without having made pretty much any damage whatsoever. Some cosmetic damage to possibly this one, but it's not much at all. Fleet's in full retreat. We have a Tempest and 2 Enforcers left. These Falcons are completely dominating every matchup they're in. And even I'm pretty sure this Falcon just took 2 Sabos. It just didn't care. It just couldn't care less, to be honest. And here come the harpoons to finish off the job. 1 and 1 more, because oh, the shield comes up in time. There is technically point defense in there, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, killed off by the EMP of an Omen. Completely surrounded, being chipped down by wasps. Not even bothering to fire missiles at that Enforcer, and all that's left is the last Tempest here. Those Falcons have been absolutely dominating this tournament. They have been unanswered. No one's been able to find a single answer to essentially fleets full of them. And here come all the Sabos. Sabos immediately overdo that. This may be out of harpoons. It doesn't really matter. The Wasps will finish off if this keeps going on. Nope. More Sabos have reloaded. The Sabres have reloaded? Never mind. Killed by PD lasers. And with absolutely no kills to their part, barely done damage to armor. I don't think I've seen a single point of hull damage go through there. Johann's fleet pulls through the first match. Exceedingly painful. These Falcons have been the star of the tournament so far. Like I said, I can't really put claim on who's going to be in the finals, but I've got a huge suspicion of what the finals are going to be. And it's probably going to be Falcon versus Falcon, which will be an interesting thing in its own right. Anyway, round 2 now done from the opposite perspective, done from the perspective of Johann. Nothing's really changed. I'll make a quick reset to make sure nothing has changed, but sometimes we do this just to make sure the AI doesn't mess around and there is no player bias, as it were. But these are insane Falcons. They are exceedingly good at punishing, and let's be honest, firing off, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 times 4. Is that 14 times? It's 14 times 4 harpoons. Basically, can be just unleashed at the press of a button. 14 times 4 is 56. It is, right? I think it's 56. That's a lot of harpoons. That's enough to easily, even without kinetic damage, that's enough to flux out most of these ships and kill them from scratch. But there still is the Sabo. Anything overloads, they get immediately destroyed. It doesn't help that, in this case, a lot of its weapons got disabled immediately. Look at those harpoons. Look at these harpoons. They're flying balls of death. They're reacquired targets. That's one. One Enforcer down. That one's about a third health right now. That's got overloaded in front of another harpoon swarm. The harpoon wasn't concentrated, however, so that may be a bit more beneficial. These are not doing much damage at all. Enforcer goes down over there. Reapers just donk off the Atlas. A little more restraint, I think, from Soup's fleet this time around, but it's still one very, very eager Enforcer just sitting back here and can't really do much at all. Hasn't even fired possibly one Sabo from each launcher, nothing else. Another Enforcer goes down. The Atlas is there, having to deal with flux issues, surprisingly. But I don't think are we gonna get shame? Or are we gonna get a little bit of fight back here? Yeah, I think the Apogee alone is not gonna be able to do much. There's no capitalization. There's not enough focus. There's enough firepower on on Johann's side to spread out all the fire. There's no chance to capitalization. Uh-oh, that is it. Oh, there you go. All the harpoons. That's 8 harpoons each, plus 2 Reapers. That's a dead Atlas. Had no chance. Tempest down over there. Tempest is over here still, but I don't think they're going to get a single shot through. Again, I don't think there's done a single point was done to... Very few damage was done to armor, never mind hull. Oh, no, hello. We have here a injured Falcon. Take a good look, folks. This is what they look like. This is what they look like when they're hurt. This is what a Falcon looks like when it's taking damage. It's a rare sight, unfortunately. But look at that. They can't even get through the armor because this is a cruiser ship. It does, even though it is a pirate ship, it does have a cruiser-sized flux bank. Oh, some more armor. It just decides to, you know what? I'm not threatened by you at all. I'm just going to vent right in front of your face. And the Tempest is so afraid it backs away whilst venting. A lot of the harpoons are gone now. Not all of them, but most of the harpoons have been fired at this point. Although, huge CR problems, of course. These are SO Tempests. Their safe usage has expired a long time ago. 40 CR and leaving. Oh, here come... that is 30 wasps flying around there, right there. And that's that. Those Falcons have been dominating. And I think that Apogee just gave just enough support to stop any damage. Very well, very painful. But a complete wipeout, unfortunately, by Johann of Soup. And showing that those Falcons are as yet undefeated, I think. Very, very painful. Very, very strong. The Falcon IBB, the IBB Falcon piece is the Viral Falcon. Pretty much. But yep, that is a solid 2-0 to Johann, who moves over to the next round. And unfortunately, Soup is eliminated. And next on the cards tonight will probably be very, very short. Next we have... Oh, a mix of high-tech. Okay, we had a bit of low-tech last time. Low-tech, mid-tech, and pirate-tech. Now we have an attack of high-tech versus high-tech. Surge versus Safari John. Surge with what looks to be 2 Apogees, a Zenith, and 7 Tempests, as well as a Heron. Versus Doom Safari, which are the Paragon Apogee, 4 Tempests, 3 Afflictors, and 2 Shades. Are these fleets okay? Are these fleets fine? Yeah, they're fine. Right, so we have a heavy beamer cruiser with hardened shields, advanced optics, burst PD lasers, high intensity lasers, tactical lasers, and some pylons, as well as wasp drones. And enough flux, because a lot of this flux is point defense, so you can remove a good 800 of that can be knocked down, I think. That's 500 there, 500 there, 75, 75, 75. Yeah, it's a pretty good. So, not too bad there. We have a support cruiser with a tack lance, a 1200 range tack lance, some light phase lances operating out at 700 range, some point defense with mini blasters and long range PD, trebuchets and salamanders for the EMP damage. We have 2 of these. Yep, 2 of these actually the same support cruisers. Zenith's ability is a active flare launcher. That's for Senior Steve there. So you have 2 of the Apogees. Apogee, of course, come with active flare launchers as well. Way back in the day, they used to come with sensor drones. These days, they only come with active flare launchers. Heron class with 2 longbow kinetic bombers and a Cobra bomber with 1 HVD and several PD lasers and expanded deck crew. Solidly a there for the fighters. A little bit of kinetic long-range poke, but mostly there for the fighters. For the kinetic support of the longbows with their sabos, and the finishing strike of the Cobra's Reaper torpedo, if it can get through. 1 pressure, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pressure frigates. Tempests with pulse lasers, lightning guns, hammer class torpedoes, and ITUs, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Terminator wings, Terminator drone wings, with their own pulse lasers and PD lasers. So, quite a lot of fighters on Surge's side. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fighter wings here. Of course, the rules being you're only allowed 7 fighter wings, but that doesn't count built-in fighter wings like the Terminator drone. And on Safari John's side, we have the capital. Today's capital is a Paragon, and that looks like a solid Paragon to me. We shall go and check out. That is a completely solid Paragon. That is a Paragon with some point defense lasers, some tactical lasers for the long-range push, 2 Tachyon Lances, 2 Ion Beams, 2 Auto Pulse Lasers, 2 Heavy Needlers, and 4 Hornet MRMs, as well as accelerated shields, expanded magazines for the Pulse Lasers, and... nope, only the Pulse Lasers. Needlers don't require them. Extra Flux Dissipation, hardened shields, so they're extremely effective shields, and shield stabilized as well. That's probably enough flux. It can't fire forever, but it's enough flux that it can keep itself going for a long time. We also have 1 Apogee here, a balanced cruiser with a lot of point defense, burst PD lasers, heavy burst lasers, salamander, locust, and a plasma cannon with ITUs and stabilized shields. And 1, 2, 3, 4 support Tempests with phase lances, ion beams, and Sabo SRMs. Ion beams have been very strong on these Tempests, if I remember last time I saw these in action. And they're operating at a good long range. It's 1200 range base, plus an extra 10%, so 1320 range on that ion beam over there. And there's 4 of them flying around, adding the 2 on the Paragon as well. Then we have 3 phase support afflictors with contender cannons, burst PD lasers, hammer class torpedoes, as well as the ECM package and nav relay. So there is a range malice to Surge's fleet, a 6% range malice on the Surge's fleet, as well as a 6% top speed increase for Safari John's fleet. And then we have 2 the phase PDs. Basically the phases don't actually have any PD weapons, they just have their own EMP, as well as a hardened subsystem, so they're good out for a good almost 5 minutes. That's right, isn't it? 270 is almost 5 minutes? 2 minutes, 4.5 minutes, yep. With Sabos, Swarmers, Antimatter Blasters, and a couple of IR Pulse Lasers. Check the other Tempests, they are all the same. Support Frigate, Support Frigate. Huh, interesting. Sabos, alternating Sabos and Salamanders with the same variant name. That's just to trip me up. That's just for my penalty. You're trying to trick me now, that's unfair. Okay, so there's 2 of them with Salamanders and 2 of them with Sabos. I call protests, that is incorrectly named. Anyway. To make sure I'm paying attention. Yeah, so I see. Part of me likes to be surprised by these things, so I don't actually go in-depth view them beforehand, because a lot of people say, no, don't see it, be surprised. And then this happens. But yeah. Go back 1, and we shall reset, make sure everything is nice and fresh. But this is Surge versus Safari John. Going in for round 1. This is harder to call. I wouldn't want to call it, but this is going to be harder to call for me, at least. It all depends on whether a Paragon can survive long enough, I think. It would be a shame if it was massive hull mod and that stuff references as well. In that case, you don't want me to showcase them, do you? Let's begin. So we have the Tempest Heavy Double Apogee Zenith Heron fleet at the bottom, belonging to Surge, and the Phase Heavy Paragon Apogee fleet at the top. An incoming offensive shade just coming in to sneak out. Of course, remember, even though we can see everything, the AI can't. There is a fog of war for the AI, so those shades usually come forward to get vision and everything. And they can, because they're shades that just come in and phase in and out as and when required. Uh-oh. Afflictors using their entropy amplifiers on that Tempest over there. They are support, they come with a lot of stuff, and it's not really managing to fire anything. There's too much fire on the line. The Zenith has pylum, so there's long-range pylum pressure. Uh-oh. Those ion beams will be a little bit scary. Ooh, Trebuchet's firing. Trebuchet's firing. Not sure what their targets are. I think the targets are Tempests, which we will not hit. There's plenty of point defense here on the Apogee and on the Paragon, never mind the PMPs on the Shades. The Apogee decides that that Shade is more of a threat and turns to face, and is not close enough to use its Tachyon Lance to punish that vent on that phase. Battle lines have been drawn. Battle lines have been drawn, and there's been no immediate kill. There's a phase at the back there. Phase and an Afflictor being attended to by a Tempest each. Being distracted, and this phase and the Afflictor will run out of CR first because of the phase. Phase, of course, makes them invincible, but it does make their CR dip down that much. I think that Afflictor manages to phase in just inside the shield and took damage from the shield. Essentially rammed the shield with its body and took damage as the shield is deployed. Fighters coming in there. Plasma's Apogee versus Apogee, although the Apogee is having to deal with a Paragon as well. This is not a very healthy Apogee anymore. It can't do anything right now. It's gonna go down, I think, because it cannot keep its shield up, not in the face of those Needlers. And the Paragon supporting the Apogee very well there. That Zenith lacks any kinetic damage, so will not be able to get any through. I think this fleet in general lacks kinetic damage to deal with the Paragon, unfortunately. I think that Paragon is definitely gonna do some pain here. Uh-oh. That Zenith's high flux can't do anything. That Paragon is just sitting back and shooting at it. A Tachyon Lance fired over there. Active flares used by the Apogee. The Apogee can't do much though. The ion beam seems to be on the same fire group as the ion beams, because one of the ion beams were firing at the Apogee, so were the PD lasers. Interesting. Or something was happening there. I wasn't sure what it was. But that's another dead Apogee. Tempests have lowered CR, which means I'm assuming that the Shades and so forth have lowered CR as well. Yes, Tempest destroyed. These Afflictors are slowly running out of CR as well, but I'm not sure if they'll go low enough before the end. I have to zoom out quite far, because I think the fighting has been quite spread out, with Tempest just sneaking around the back there, although we have a Zenith and the Heron left. Heron is out of fighters right now. There's too much point defense everywhere. And at high flux, the Tachyon Lance, of course, arcs through the shields and starts disabling weapons behind it. Those ion beams are keeping pressure up as well. Again, extremely long-range ion beams. And those pylons will just be fodder for the point defense. Yep, I don't think they've got a single way to get through and do damage to that Paragon. Shade has been destroyed now. The CR is going to be quite low on these phase ships. 13% CR, 14% CR. The Tempests are holding. The Tempests are holding. If they hold it for long enough and can come support. Tempest going down. Uh-oh. Me and my big mouth. Afflictor goes down. That Afflictor can barely phase anymore. Tempest, you need to start focusing on supporting your cruisers here. They need your help. They need your help. Afflictor down. That's all three Afflictors down. I think that might be all three Shades down as well. I haven't really checked. I think all three phases might be down. So it's now 3 Tempests, Zenith, and a Heron versus 2 Tempests, Paragon, and an Apogee. I believe that's what this is. Unless there's more dancing around. There is more dancing around going up here. There is another. There's a Tempest versus Tempest fight over here. And a Tempest versus Tempest fight over here. Interesting. Although the Tempests have now dangers of malfunctions, their CR is now quite low. Paragon, again, is completely fine. 360-degree shield, Fortress shield, it's not even trying. I don't believe... Yeah, the Apogee is completely fine with CR as well. That is a low CR Tempest that's got just a little bit of hull left. The second anything gets behind it, it'll die. And the Terminator drone from that Tempest could probably deal with it, to be honest. Another Tempest down. Zenith is taking hull damage now, and they've not even scratched, I believe, either the Paragon or the Apogee. I know for a fact there was a bit of PD laser damage over there, but again, not enough to get through the shields or the armor. Yeah, there's not enough kinetic in the entire fleet. I think the only kinetic they've got, I think, is in the Sabos from the. Oh, there is some kinetic there, but it's again there's no pressure, and now it's too high flux. Oh, there we go. Overloaded. Death by what is the question here? Death by the Tachyon Lance overkill there, cutting the Zenith in half. And now all that's left is a Heron, I believe. Heron and 2 Tempests are all that are left. Took a while. There you go. There's definitely something. I think maybe the Tac Lances. No, I don't know. There's something going on with weapon groups on that Paragon. I want to check between matches what's happening on the weapon groups, because sometimes those PD lasers are firing forward. I do question what that is. Oh, there's a overloaded fighter over there. Done some damage. Some damage was done there. I'm assuming by an impact of a fighter on the armor of the Paragon. But the Paragon doesn't even need to be in here for this. It's all on the Apogee now. Just firing that plasma cannon and backing away a little bit. Oh nope, getting out of the way just enough to let the Paragon come in for the shot. Not even in range. The Tachyons are not getting range, and what's left now is nothing. Not shame. Not shame. All the phase ships were killed, probably due to low CR, but a resounding win for the Doom Safari. Again, has no Doom in it. Come on. So I want to do a quick check on the weapon groups here. The PD laser is an area. The PD laser is the tactical laser in the same group as the ion beam. I was right, it is the ion beam as well. So sometimes you'll see the PD lasers firing forward for no apparent reason. Autopulse lasers, tachyon lances, needlers, and the hornets are all on separate things, but everything else essentially has been relegated to the same firing group. Make sure we set that to make sure I haven't changed anything. But yeah, now match 2. This was a closer match than the first one, but I still think the lack of kinetic damage on Fish Friends Anonymous' side to get through that Paragon shield will be very difficult. There is no kinetic damage, is there? The only kinetic damage there is on the entire ship is the longbows, because that's only energy damage over here and some kinetic on the hammers. And some high explosive on the hammers. And there we have, again, energy, high explosive, and EMP on the Apogees as well. There's no kinetic damage here whatsoever, apart from those longbows. Make sure we reset and go straight in.
Always good to watch some good Starsector content. Good luck all in the 20.
Hey, thank you, TTBNC. 100 bits. Yep. Again, see, the ships move forward to pick up a sensor jammer and a nav boy. Remember, because of the actual... because of our support afflictors, there actually is a range malice here. Even with one sensor jammer a pop, the fleet still has a 6% weapon range advantage, as well as a 10% top speed advantage. And And I tell you, that range penalty is definitely contributing a little bit here. I don't say it's perfect, but it's definitely contributing a little bit. Hopefully the Apogees will be able to do a little bit more versus the Tempests. I think the priority should be here, as if the AI has a choice, to deal with the Tempest. To stay alive and deal with the Tempest, because the phase ships will die in their own time. There's enough survivability here that they'll die in their own time. Oh, here we go. Fortress shielded, but whenever it's fortress shielding, it's not firing. That's the thing you have to remember. Whenever the Paragon is fortress shielding or has the fortress shield, it can't be firing. There's a lot more focus now. Not saying it's perfect, but they've actually managed to get a lot of focus fire onto that Paragon while everything else is distracted. Sadly, they couldn't capitalize on it. The Apogee just backed out. It just backed out completely. The Apogee should have been here supporting its friend, because look what the focus can do. Look what a little bit of focus could do. A little bit of help here can really, really support it, but it's just not here. Oh, just could not support it. The Apogee backed out and left its friend to die. That was the best shot they had. That was the best shot they had at taking out that Paragon. They had it running high and left its friends to die. Shame on you, Apogee. Shame on you. Wouldn't say it wouldn't have been a certain thing. It wouldn't have been a guaranteed, oh my god, the Paragon is dead. But it would have definitely helped their chances a lot to focus the Paragon, to hurt the Paragon, to get to its armor. And now the second Apogee is down as well, and I think much the same will happen again. We were close to having a little bit of magic here. We were close to having a little bit of magic here. And sadly, it just was not the case. Both Apogees down, and I think this will play out much the same as last time. So far as Johnson doing the clever thing, I think, in taking out both the Apogees first, being the bigger threats. With a lack of kinetic damage, these hills, while scary, are not as scary as the Tachyon Lances would have been. They're just shrugging it away. And all the phase ships start having CR issues. And every time they phase, they'll have more and more CR issues, but I don't think it'll matter. That Paragon, by itself, can fill it up. Hang on, overloaded. A little bit of damage there. Can't quite can't commit. Oh! Okay, a little bit more Sabos in there. A little bit more pressure done to that Apogee this time around. Apogee down to about 2/3 health right now. Something happening there. Those ion beams, though, are surprisingly good point defense versus fighters, because they actually do enough damage to get through fighter shields. And they're keeping that shield pressure. That Zenith is taking a lot of shield damage right now. Oh. That Cobra didn't quite get a chance to fire. Ooh. Ignoring the Zenith. Both the Tachyon Lances go for the Heron instead. Because, again, the Zenith isn't the threat. The Zenith is just nothing... The Paragon does not care about the Zenith at all. And that is a dead Zenith, I think. And so far, none of the phase ships have died, I think. So far, the phase ships are in one piece. That Tempest is brave, but that Tempest can't do a lot. Focusing fire on the Terminator drones? That's just a BMing Paragon now. Paragon just turns its Tachyon Lances onto the Terminator drones because it doesn't bother attacking the Tempest. Oh, and that Heron is facing the wrong way. Not that it's facing really matters, but it's definitely facing the wrong way. A Shade has been destroyed though, so it is not shame. Afflictor has been destroyed as well. But that is a severely punished Heron. Taking damage from tack lasers, from the Locust now as well, from the Ion Beam, the Heavy Needler is pushing over, and I can't quite see what got the final shot there. Afflictor is down, Afflictor is down. Are we down to... Nope, there's still a single Shade up. I think we might be out of all other phase ships though. Will we get a complete repeat? Tempest is down? Will we get a full repeat? That is a Shade that can no longer vent, so that's a dead Shade, dead Tempest. Oh, a dead Tempest. A dead Tempest. That is a difference from last time. Because I think last time they only lost phase ships. Now a Tempest has died as well. Again, Phase Lance is attacking there. Phase Lance is attacking there. That is a severely bullied Tempest. A severely bullied Tempest over here. Say, that's a severely. This is a severely bullied Tempest. Taking a Tachyon Lance to the shield and just still wanting to fight. Ooh, nope, still not. Oh, hang on, are we done? That might be the last one. Nope, there's still something left. Nope, dead again. Nope, still left. Commentator's Curse. 31 CR and draining. Uh-oh, the shield arc is only 90 degrees, and they are more than 90 degrees apart. Apogee's coming along. I don't think the Apogee will be required. I don't think the Apogee will be required. Uh-oh. Ion from the left. It is currently has no engines, and the Apogee's coming in with the plasma cannon. It has no engines. It cannot dodge. Oh, engines are back online. Never mind. So high flux. It's trying so hard. It's trying so hard. No engines again. No engines again. And there goes the plasma cannon. And there goes the plasma cannon. A better learn than last time. There was two Tempests destroyed this time round. But, again, a total victory to Safari John and the doomed Safari that has no dooms in it. So another 2-0. Far more balanced, far less clear-cut than the Falcons. And also, sadly to see, we didn't see what was a fantastic chance to pressure a Paragon, to take the Paragon up to high flux, to use the Tachyon Lances of the Apogees to abuse a high flux Paragon and to arc the shots straight through. But this is, again, I think this is showcasing a lot of the decision making of the tournament so far. As people are saying in chat right now, the Tempests are amazing dogfighters, but Omens are more dangerous and cheaper. An Omen is half the price of a Tempest. The Tempest is a fantastic ship, but an Omen is half the price at the moment, at least within the confines of the tournament. But yeah, what was your moment of the tournament so far? I mean, again, this has been a short stream because, frankly, these are very short-sized matches, and they're all, even though they are best of threes, there have been 2-0s both times. But what has been your showcase, your highlight of the stream this evening? I think personally for me it was the pressuring of the Paragon. That was so close to being a beautiful thing. That was so close to being a fantastically epic moment that didn't quite pan out because one of the Apogees was terrified after getting fluxed out in front of a Paragon. They couldn't quite get back into position enough to capitalize upon it. Thago liked the Afflictor supporting the Paragon in round 1. Indeed, yes. The Afflictor does an extra 50% damage. That's what the Afflictor does. Afflictor just goes in there, hits the target with the Entropy Antiplier, and they take extra 50% damage. An extra 50% damage on top of a Tachyon Lance. That's an extra 1,125 damage, give or take. That's the 3,376 damage Tachyon Lance. It's a scary, scary thing to get hit by. And again, Tachyon Lances at high flux will arc through. Hits on shields have a chance to generate shield penetrating arc based on the target's hard flux level. And the Paragon was running a little bit high on flux. That would have been a good moment to see that happen. Sadly, that was not the case. Apparently on Thursday stream there was an extra sort of grudge match, but I don't think there's anything planned for that today. Hi Nox, you did still make it. Probably not by much, but you did still make it. Is there anything else for the evening, I think? I don't think anything else is planned for the evening. It's a very short stream, I think. But yes, again, thank you to Astraltor for organising everything. I'll put that up on screen. In the tournament, even though the code of the tournament was based by Tartiflette and DR's work, Tartiflette's mod code, but this tournament is being organised by Astraltor, or Thunders in chat. And yeah, there's not much left now. There's one more or two more rounds left of losers bracket, and then the actual finals, the proper finals. And the next stream will be on Thursday, which is 9 p.m. UTC or 10 p.m. UK time, or whatever that is, wherever you are. It'll be hosted on Thago's channel. It'll be the next rounds, I believe. I believe that who's playing on Thursday? Are they the winners of this, or is it related to Top again? I'll have to double check. Quickly just tab out. Yeah, so on Thursday, I believe it is Johan versus Safari John, is it? I think. It'll be Johan versus Safari John, I believe. And then the week after that, it'll be Vira, Kissimmee, and then a lot of best of threes now. A lot of best of threes, basically. A lot of one bracket best of threes. But we shall see. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much to Tartiflette for the layout of the tournament, and for Astraltor for organizing, for Thago for being my co-streamer, who is doing the next round. And yes, I think that's everything. I need to raid somebody. I do need to raid somebody. Who am I raiding? Is anyone streaming? Is anyone streaming from here? Is anyone on this in chat streaming? Because we'll raid them instead. But if anyone here is streaming, I'll raid them. If not, I'll raid. I had a suggestion, so I'll raid them as well. Okie dokie. Anyway, cool. Say bye to YouTube. This is the YouTube video. Say bye to the YouTube video, and then I'll raid someone. Bye, YouTube.